The guy from the Dutch again.
Oh my gosh.
He had like one long eyebrow. Morning, guys.
Good morning. Drew, your chair's very squeaky.
It is very squeaky. I need a new chair. Maybe the next show we'll do this show in the recliner. Good morning.
Which, if I'm allowed to share, where we got that recliner.
I'm okay with you sharing whatever you want to share.
So, when we moved here to the beach, we kind of didn't take into account all the things that you need when you move. Kind of underestimated.
You have nothing in a place?
We moved into our place and we're like, gonna need a few things. Kind of underestimated that whole thing, didn't really take that into account. We were so focused on getting the place and getting in a place that we're like, what about the stuff you need in a place? So, anyway, we were sleeping on air mattress for a while and sitting in camping chairs in our apartment.
And the camping chairs broke.
One of the camping chairs broke. And anyway, so we were sitting on the floor on yoga mats. But slowly we've been accumulating stuff, but you know, like we don't like to go out and just buy all new stuff and spend a bunch of money. And we like to live minimally. So we're walking to the grocery store one day. And this lady is cleaning out her house. She, spring cleaning in the fall. I'm not sure what she was doing. But there was this recliner there on the street. In pretty good condition. Just needed a little vacuum, like a little cleanup. But no tears, rips, stains. And so Drew sits in the recliner on the side of the street.
It's very comfortable.
It's like, it's so comfortable. And the lady comes out of the house. And we introduce ourselves and tell her that we just moved here, and then Drew says, "So about that recliner,
you getting rid of this?
You're getting rid of this." So then it's a couple blocks from our house. So Drew and I carry this recliner down the street to our house.
It's true. It happened. Well, you know, the thing is, for whatever reason around here, like, people don't take things to... Sometimes they take it to the Goodwill. She said she didn't have a truck. Otherwise, she would have. But they don't throw things in the trash. They put it on the street.
For people to pick up.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool in a way. Because instead of throwing it in the trash, they put it on the side of the street so people could reuse it. Some people actually have a job, I think, where, like, their job is to go and pick them up and then sell them. Sell these things. But we found someone was cleaning out, I think they were cleaning out someone else's apartment. And they were just throwing boxes and boxes of things not throwing, but putting them on the side of the street. And we were walking by, and they had brand new containers, like with price tags still on them. They had those cloth bags that the tags were still on them, and they were going to throw everything out. So, of course, we grabbed a handful of stuff.
Yeah, I think it was a landlord or something cleaning up for new tenants to come in. I'm not sure what happened, the situation, but they were putting, like Drew said, brand new stuff just in boxes on the street. And it was like Christmas for us.
It was. Well, we're, of course, like as we said, you guys know we live minimally, and then we don't like to contribute to landfills and oceans and the pollution. So I feel like we're in a overconsumption world. We just feel like we need more and more stuff.
And new.
Yeah, brand new stuff instead of going to the thrift store, we loved going to the Goodwill just to go see what's there because it's fun. And then sometimes you find stuff. And like these chairs, for example. That chair we found for...
We get emails from Goodwill and they have the deals. So they have $2 day at Goodwill, and sometimes they have like 50% off of furniture, for example. Anyway, so this one day it was 50% off. So we're like, let's go to Goodwill. And there was 4 of these kitchen chairs here for $30. $30. And so 50% off. So we got 4 kitchen chairs for $15.
Yeah, they're good like wooden chairs.
Really good condition, good, nice, sturdy wooden chairs.
And you could get like, or you could get like brand new plastic chairs that are going to break right away. Then you have to throw them away and get new ones.
Yeah.
So we got these good old fashioned wooden chairs that are awesome for like $15 before we're home.
Yeah. Steal of a deal.
We do want to welcome you guys in. So we got Louise here, says good morning.
Hey, Louise.
Vanda's tuning in from Italy.
Wow.
That's
Thanks
crazy.
for tuning in, Vanda.
Vanda, you are our first view from Italy. Very cool. Louise says, good thing you're young and strong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that chair was super heavy. It was like a block away.
Heavy.
2 blocks away.
2 blocks away.
And we had to put it down like 4 times.
You know what? It's a very sturdy chair, and it's wooden. Like, the frame is all wood.
Yeah.
So when you're carrying it, it was, I don't know, it was heavy, but I don't think it was so much the heaviness of the chair, but the way we were carrying it.
The grip?
The
bottom was wooden. So.
Kept cutting into my hand. And we had to go around this really awkward corner. And remember that, Drew? And we had to walk on the street for a minute with it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, in high traffic. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was a story we'll always remember. But it's a very comfortable chair. And we met the lady. She's kind of our friend now. We're gonna drop off a little thank you card. And she lives every time we go to the grocery store, we pass her house. So when we see her, we're like, hey, she decorated her whole house in Halloween. Yeah. And she's like, I had that chair for years. She's like, I just don't use it. So I figured I may as well get rid of it. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of cool. Sandy says, what do you need? I have lots I don't need. I take to the thrift store. Thanks, Sandy. I don't know. We're pretty good. We actually don't have a couch. We're looking for a couch, but we have a few things. We have a little a kitchen table now, and we have a little chair there. Chairs. We don't use much, so we don't need much. I think the only thing we're really looking for is a couch.
Right now.
I don't know. If there's anything you're getting rid of, let us know, and we'll let you know if we could use it.
Yeah.
Thank you for the offer. Mm-hmm. Shauna's in here. She said, I'm on just for a bit. I got it.
Hey, Shauna.
But thank you for tuning in, Shauna. Thanks for joining us for a little bit. If you guys can join us for a few minutes or the whole show, we always appreciate you coming in.
Shauna may have tuned in to hear the story.
Oh, Shauna, are you still here?
Shauna, we don't want to tell that story in case you're gone. Are you still here? Let us know.
We'll get another story for you.
Sandy said, when I first started, all my furniture came from the thrift stores. I had the best set of dishes from there. Wish I still had them.
we got some from the thrift store.
We got some dishes from the thrift store, but we got some
on the street. Street shopping.
Oh man, I'm so excited! I went back into the house and got my bags. Just filling up the bags.
We got bowls there. We got cups there.
Like that were never used, like little tea mugs. These ones.
Those are pretty. Look how cool those are.
These are pretty cool.
People just throwing them away.
And then bowls and
containers. And some of them still had the stickers on them.
They said
brand new
HomeSense stickers on them.
Yeah.
Never used.
And we're perfectly okay with that. Like I think sometimes people feel like I don't know, maybe they can't afford it or embarrassed to go there. I think that like for us it's fun and we have no problem sharing that we shop at the thrift store. So that's where we get a lot of our stuff.
Got these Sharpies in there too. Brand new Sharpies.
Brand new Sharpies. Nikki's in here. Morning, Nikki.
Hey, Nikki.
Thanks for tuning in. Vanda, what's going on, Vanda?
Just happened to be in Wi-Fi, so nice to catch you live finally.
Yes, Vanda, you were always with us when you weren't doing so much traveling. It's nice to have you back here this morning. And what else do we have? What did Louise say?
Bring her pumpkin cookies. That's a great idea.
Good idea. But I love the pumpkin cookies, Louise. I don't want to give them away. Anyway, Shauna's still here. Okay, well, I don't even know what story it is.
Well, Drew, you had said on the membership group about me. What was it? Something about not sharing.
Oh, copy and paste?
Oh, copy and paste. That's what it was. So Shauna had posted a really nice quote, and Drew said, wow, thank you for typing that out for us, Shauna.
This was in our monthly membership.
In our monthly membership. And Drew says, thanks, Shauna, for writing that all out for us. It's very nice of you to take the time to do that. And Shauna's like, thanks, copy and paste. And then Drew says, ask Dorothy about copy and pasting.
So I should just let me mention here. So, like hiring employees is always a challenge, and so for Exploring Mind and Body, there's just so many steps and so much work that we have an editor, and then we have had an assistant that was like putting like. How can I say? We have to put a blog post together. We have to have the recording. We have to have graphics. We have to upload the show. And then we have to send it to radio stations. We have to put it up as a podcast. Then we have to promote the show. So there's tons of steps that I think most people don't understand how much work it is behind the scenes. And it's so frustrating to continually hire people and train people. And then for whatever reason, I think they realize how much work it is. They're like, oh, this is too much work for me. Or they lose interest in it. They're like, oh, yeah, I could do that. And then after a couple months, like 3, 6 months, 8 months, they just disappeared. They don't want to do it anymore. So they start doing less and less, or they start doing a good job. They stop doing a good job. So I'm like, I can't keep you doing this if you're not going to do a good job. So they're like, okay, see ya. So it's a continual struggle. So Dorothy and I were talking, and we're doing more of our own stuff, working on our own business instead of working on other people's. And Dorothy's like, well, I could do that. If you teach me how to do this, I can do that. So we're slowly teaching Dorothy how to do more and more
radio
things,
stuff.
especially radio stuff with Exploring Mind and Body. So that's exciting for us. So now that's the backstory. I'm training Dorothy how to do things. And of course we do so much together. It's another thing. And sometimes we get on each other's nerves. So would you like to continue?
Well, I just like to say that Drew and I do things very differently.
Completely different.
Very differently. I have different systems than how he likes to do things. And Drew's a lot faster than me, I would say. Like, especially with computer stuff. He just types faster. He can click faster. He can find things faster. And it just takes me a little bit more time. So that's one thing. He's like, get there faster. I'm like, oh my gosh, wait a minute. But this particular copy and paste thing, I like to be very, very thorough. And like, so I was getting, what was I doing? It was just a title. It was like 3 or 4 words. And of course you have to put the title on so many different pages. And it was, I don't know what the title of the show was.
It was like, it was the digestion one, like relieve digestion.
And constipation.
Yeah.
But there was one word in the title I wasn't sure of I wasn't sure of the spelling of the word. So you have to put the title like 4 different spots. And I'm like, really? Constipation? Wait, Drew, did I spell that right? And aiding digestion. Okay. Got that. And then I go to the next page. R-E-I-L. Wait a minute, did I spell that right?
Oh my. It was painful.
And then I'm
so
like,
painful.
relieve that constipation and aid digestion. Okay, that's number 2. And then we get to the 3rd page, and I'm about to like type in the title again, and he's like, would you just copy and paste it?
Yeah, it was so painful. The title goes on so many different pages, and so she had to continue to type it out. And I'm like, what? Like all you have to do is like, I don't even know what it is.
Command C or something on the
Command C is copy, and then Command V on our Mac is Command V is paste. So it's 2 buttons. All you have to do is highlight it, push 2 buttons. Go next page, put 2 buttons. But she was like, every time we went to a new page, she was typing the whole thing out. And I'm like, what are you doing? And,
would you just copy and paste?
And it was building up, of course, because she's always like, when I teach her something new, she's like, you do it your way, and I'll do it mine. So I wasn't saying anything, and she like kept doing it, and it was like building up and building it up. And I was like, just copy and paste it.
And I was like, whoa, got some anger issues.
So that's our story, Shauna. That's the copy and paste. So copy. The moral of the story is copy and paste. Oh man. Anyways, so that's what we have going on. We have some comments we need to catch up on. What's Sandy say?
I'm so glad my husband works out of the home, she says.
That's awesome, Sandy. Glad to have.
I think it's know what to say about working together.
Some people can do it, other people can't. Like we're pretty fortunate. We enjoy each other's company, and we get along quite well. And we have it's pretty cool. Like we have very few issues.
Yeah.
Like we disagree. Sometimes we argue, but it's never like mean or I don't know. It's not like angry. We usually laugh. We usually laugh. Like we usually argue for a bit, and then we'll laugh, and then that'll be it. We'll just move on.
Sometimes it's funny because we'll be arguing about something, and then of course, like Drew said, then we'll end up laughing, and I'm like, "Stop it! Stop making me laugh! I just want to be mad at you. I can't be mad at you."
Just want to be mad for a few minutes.
I own 3 groups and 3 pages, and I love copy and paste.
What are your 3 pages, Sandy? Put them in the comments. I didn't know you had 3 pages that you own. Yeah, you got to copy and paste. Tell her, Sandy. She'll copy and paste sometimes, but I think it was the learning. She was like, instead of thinking of copy and paste, you were thinking about just getting the title in, and there's just a lot of steps to it. So I could understand that, and if that's how she wants to do it, I'm fine with it. After the training, I'm going to be like, it's yours. You do it now, which is pretty nice because when you're working with employees or other people that don't really care about your business, you always have to check in with them, and you have to see if they're doing it right. So it's unfortunate. Like hopefully at some point we hope to find employees or help that really care about your business, and you don't have to continue to check. But unfortunately, it doesn't work like that for us at this point. You find people that are enthusiastic and excited, and they're good for like a few weeks or a couple months, and then their work slowly, like I don't know what happens. It's like people are excited to do work, they have a job, and then they're like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore, and their work slowly declines. And I'm watching this because I'm always checking the work. Because our content is important. It's like important for us to have good quality for you guys. So I'm watching it decline, and then I'm messaging them. And I'm like, what's going on? Is there a problem? Is anything happening? No, everything's fine. And then it gets to a point where I'm like, sorry, it's not going to work out. So when I give it to Dorothy, I know that I don't have to keep checking. I know she's going to do a great job because she cares about her business.
It's just the learning.
The learning is challenging
getting
sometimes.
Better. I can only take small chunks too when I'm learning. Drew's like, let me teach you everything, and I'm like, whoa.
Well, I get excited because if there's something, because Dorothy has her own part of the business, like a lot of the nutrition, the meal planning. She's doing more work on her own page to help grow her business as well, and she has her own. We have similar audiences, but she has her own that she can connect with that don't come to the True Form page or my pages. So when I give her new stuff, I get excited. I'm like, oh, you want something new? So then I want to give her more stuff. And she's like, whoa.
Whoa, I'm writing a book, thank you.
Yeah, of course she's writing her own recipe book as well. So it's a balance that we're continuing to work on. And this is exciting for us because this is the first year that we don't have, like, Dorothy's not, or at least at this point, continually teaching.
Right.
And then we're not in the we're with the Broncos anymore, of course, where you can tell we're not exactly in a regular place right now. So, and from our picture. So, anyways, Chantel says, good morning. Great copy and paste. Thanks, Chantel. And then what did Shauna say?
Shauna said, signing out, you two are the best. Hugs. Bye, Shauna.
Thanks, Shauna.
Yes, thank you for tuning in.
Have a great day. Glad you tag team. Too funny. So today we're going to be talking about cauliflower, benefits of cauliflower. And it's kind of it seems like a big subject, like a growing subject. There's a lot of people talking about it in different ways. And we talked about it. Was it on Cooking with Dorothy?
Cauliflower?
Where we started talking about cauliflower and everyone started commenting on, like, the wings, for example. Like Marcel, Sue.
Yeah, it was. It was last show on Cooking with Dorothy. Teresa tuned in, I think it was. And Teresa, what was it? Teresa?
Don't think it matters.
Anyway, somebody had recently posted cauliflower wings on their page, and I was like, hey, you inspired us to make wings tonight. So we were making our cauliflower wings, and we were telling people about the wings on Cooking with Dorothy, and it spiked this whole cauliflower conversation even though we were making pumpkin muffins.
Right. Well, that's what we like about our shows. They kind of just go wherever organically, so that's cool. That's good with us.
Mm-hmm. So we wanted to talk about cauliflower this morning, and we were kind of thinking, whoa, do we have enough to say about cauliflower? But then when we started thinking about it, we were like, yeah, there's lots of stuff around cauliflower. So we're going to talk about some of the benefits. We're going to talk about carbs a little bit, and then we'll give you guys some ideas of how you can use cauliflower different ways.
Yeah. And if you have comments throughout the show, we wrote down some notes here. You know what's funny is often we're like, I wonder if we have enough to talk about for a given subject. Like cauliflower, for example, it seems like such a small topic. But we wrote down some notes, and we have a number of different recipes. We have some of our own recipes in blog posts to share with you as well. So if you have questions throughout the show or you want to share about your cauliflower experience, let us know.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
Where do you want to start?
Well, do you want to start with benefits of cauliflower or talking about carbs?
Well, we could talk about the substituting. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, okay.
Well, we've talked about carbs in past shows, and we've done morning shows, like our videos and stuff about it. So I don't think we have to spend too much time differentiating between the simple and the complex carbs, but...
Well, we should tell them what it is. Do you guys know what simple and complex carbs are? Let us know in the comments. Well, so briefly, simple carbs process differently than complex carbs. So simple carbs are also known as quick carbs, and then complex carbs are also known as slow carbs. That's the big difference. So if you see like slow carb diet, usually means like complex carb diet, carbohydrate diet. And there are these diets out there like that work for different individuals. Like you saw lots of you may have seen our experiments with keto, for example. That works for some people, doesn't work for others. Mm-hmm. So there are different diets. We focus on lifestyle and a well balance of your macronutrients. You don't cut any of them out. So when it comes to simple carbs, you can cut out your white potatoes, for example, and you can use cauliflower, and you don't have to worry about the carbohydrates, which a lot of people are in fear of.
Mm-hmm. So for me, the easiest way to distinguish between complex or slow carbs and then the simple carbs, or the quick carbs, is the colors. So a simple carb is going to be anything white, basically, right? So white rice, white potatoes, white bread, what else?
It's usually one more. White potatoes, usually
Isn't
white.
Corn one?
Corn is like a starch.
Oh, okay.
Not really.
Well, because corn's white in the middle. It's yellow on the outside. Anyway, and then the complex carbs are the ones that have all the colors. So sweet potatoes, for example, would be a complex carb because it has lots of color. Brown rice is not white, for example, so it would be a complex carb. So they digest very differently in our bodies.
That's right. So simple carbs, they like everything at its very root, it breaks down into a sugar. So there's no fiber in white products, in white carbs. There's no fiber in them to help slow digestion. So we need the fiber in a slow digesting carb. So that's why it's called slow digesting, because it digests slowly. And as it digests, it gives us energy. So that's why if you have like a white or simple carb, like a potato, for example, processes it very quickly. Our body turns it to a sugar, and then sometimes it's stored as fat, or it's certainly not giving us sustainable energy. So that's why we look to complex carbs.
Yeah, and so a lot of, I guess, comfort foods, I suppose you could say, are made with simple carbs. So you've got like pizza, for example, and you've got mac and cheese, for example, would be more of a comfort food. Maybe potato salad. So you can replace those carbs, those simple carbs, with cauliflower vegetable.
That's right. So Sandy just says, except cauliflower is white. Exactly, Sandy. That's what we're getting at here. So cauliflower is not a carb. We would put it in the antioxidant macronutrient category. So your 4 macronutrients are protein,
healthy fats,
antioxidants, which is where we would put cauliflower, vegetables, dark leafy greens, and then the other one was
carbs. Do you already say carbs?
I don't know.
Proteins, fats, carbs, antioxidants.
Right. Instead, so what we're saying here is instead of having your white you like your white carb, like your simple complex carb, like a white potato, for example, or white rice. What most people would use, they can substitute their white cauliflower for. So if you don't want a sweet potato, a lot of people are in fear of carbs, like I can't have carbs, too many carbs, counting carbs. So if you don't want the carbs, you can use cauliflower in replacement for those white, simple carbohydrates that we recommend you don't consume.
That's right. So, shall we get into the benefits of cauliflower?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. So there's tons and tons of benefits of cauliflower. We're going to name a few. And what's really interesting about cauliflower is, I want to backtrack 1 second here. I just wanted to say that for some reason, I don't know if you guys like cauliflower, but for some reason, it's one of the vegetables that I have never really been attracted to. And I think it's because it's white. And it doesn't really taste like much to me. It's pretty flavorless to me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But for some reason, it was a vegetable that I've never really been attracted to in the past because I'm all about the color. That's true.
Dorothy has like a color complex. When she makes a salad or when we buy groceries, she has to get like different colors. So if we're making like a monster salad, and we have greens in there, so spinach, for example, and then we have, I don't know, maybe you have like a cucumber, and then she's got to have like something different in color. So she's like, I got to have a red pepper. She's like, we need some more color in here.
Yeah, so it gets a little crazy in my brain, you guys. So sometimes we like to put shredded carrots in our grated carrots in our salad, but then I can't use the orange pepper because we can't have orange carrots and orange pepper. We have to have a different color. But then if I have tomatoes in there, I can't use a red pepper because then you have the red tomato and the red pepper, so I have to have a different color. So maybe I have a yellow pepper.
It's true.
It's crazy.
And that's how and she's like, she's chopping things up or she's like getting things out of the fridge and that's what's going through her mind. And I'm like,
gotta have all the colors.
You are out of control. But anyways, yeah, so it's white. And I was one of those people too that I don't naturally go to cauliflower. It has to be like a conscious decision. Like for us, it's easy to grab like celery for green smoothies, carrots to chop up, put it in hummus. Like, these are things that are naturally go and grab peppers and not think about it. But cauliflower has to be a conscious decision for me, too. So, yeah, it's definitely something that we have to work on.
Yeah, we started putting it into stir fries, actually, a while ago. Quite a few years ago, we were like, okay, we knew that cauliflower had all these health benefits. We have to start eating it more regularly. So then we started putting it in stir fries. And then from there, we just have been using it more and more ways.
Right.
Kayla says, good morning. Hey, Kayla.
Kayla, how come we don't have a profile picture? What happened to it? Louise says, love cauliflower.
Yeah, it's so good. That's on our list of recipes. So benefits of cauliflower, I keep saying it has all these tons of benefits. So one of the most interesting things about cauliflower I find is that it contains almost all of the vitamins and minerals that our body needs. So it has a good percentage of vitamins and minerals our body needs. So it's high in vitamins like that you wouldn't even think of, like C, B, K, for example, and it has magnesium, potassium. So it has so many of the vital nutrients that our bodies need, which is really interesting because a lot of times you have to pair your different foods together to get all of those nutrients.
Yeah, if you look at even kale, for example, or spinach, I think they're high, that'd be like high in vitamin K, for example. And it's usually, not that they don't have other vitamins or minerals in them, but usually they have one. So
usually they're high in one.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool that cauliflower is high in a number of different ones. So instead, I think you get like more bang for your buck.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of times people go to the gym and they just work out like their biceps,
their
chest, and we're like, if you do your whole body at the same time, then you get more bang for your buck. Why not in 20 minutes work out your whole body instead of just one muscle group? And it's the same thing with cauliflower because you get more out of it nutrient wise instead of just. I just got a flash on how to prepare cauliflower instead of just like kale, for example, for vitamin K.
Louise, I have a question for you. Because I recently saw at the grocery store they had like the cauliflower rice already chopped up, and I was like, because Drew and I usually don't buy the things in the plastic bags, but I thought that was interesting. So, Louise, do you chop your own cauliflower for the cauliflower rice, or do you buy it chopped? Because you can now
I saw that.
buy it chopped. I was
Yeah.
like, whoa. You buy it
Yeah.
already chopped up.
Yeah. It might be more convenient for cauliflower. I think that's a bit much, though. I know they're trying to offer convenience, like grocery stores are like fast food. They're just trying to offer convenience. But if you put then it's going to be another plastic bag, and then I think there's some medicinal reasons to like chop, for example.
Yeah,
or like
meditating.
Like prepare your own food. I think.
Yeah, sometimes it was more so when I was full-time teaching. I would come home from work and I just needed to be alone in the kitchen and chop. And Drew would be like, Drew knew like I had a long day or I needed help, so he'd come in and say, hey, let me help you chop. And I'm like, no, I just need to meditate right now. Chop, 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 chop.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And I think preparing your own food, it means more to you, like energetically, emotionally. And then I think if more people prepared their own food, there'd be more mindful eating, for example. Like so many times we'll go out to eat with people, or we're sitting at the table and we look across and we're there and we're halfway through our meal. Someone gets there after us. They've ate all their food and then they're rushing out the door. And we're like, why don't you enjoy a bit more?
Yeah.
You know? But
enjoy your bites.
And there would be more appreciation, I think, if you prepared your own food. Yeah, Kayla, can't you see the screen? Or can you see I pulled your comment on the screen.
Do you see a profile picture? Because we don't.
Yeah, maybe you see it. We don't.
Weird.
Let me pull some comments on here.
Maybe it's a setting or something. Oh, she says see it.
Is that what she said?
Yeah, up here. Go up. I see it, she says.
Oh, it might be a setting, actually. Maybe you have some kind of privacy, because we can see everyone else's.
Must be a privacy setting or something.
Anyways, let's pull some comments on.
Kayla said, we were just talking about putting it in cheese sauce, for the kiddos to eat. So there is actually, you can replace your noodles for mac and cheese with the cauliflower. It's very good. And we have a really nice bacon mac and cheese recipe as well. We should put some in the comments or something.
Sure.
Where you could take the cheese sauce from the vegan mac and cheese and just put it on cauliflower as mac and cheese.
What are you talking about?
I'm trying to say skip the noodles for the mac and cheese and just use the sauce from the vegan mac and cheese recipe.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to say.
We'll pull some recipes on here. Do we have a recipe for that one?
Yes.
Our own?
Yeah. My husband loves broccoli, but now I will have to get cauliflower as well. Yeah, and we really like cauliflower and broccoli together.
Roasted. If you put them in one pan, chop them up in chunks, and put the cauliflower and broccoli together. Put some coconut oil or what else do we use?
Avocado oil sometimes we use.
Yeah, avocado oil is pretty good for a high smoke point. And then Himalayan salt. Sometimes I'll chop up pieces of fresh garlic and throw it in the oven. Excuse me.
So roasting them together is really nice. And I think it helps me with the color issue. Because when you just have white, I'm like, I need some color.
Well, it's good for men as well. What's the health benefit for men?
Well, it's good for prostate health.
Right. Yeah. So that's why...
I'm always like, Drew, you get your cauliflower and go for your prostate.
That's what she says.
I do.
Almost every time. I'm like, thanks for mentioning again. Let's see what Nikki has to say. Keep those hearts coming in, guys. We love the hearts.
Nikki says, I made cauliflower pizza. Used it to make a crust instead of dough. It was labor intensive, but I liked the taste. It didn't always crisp up, so it was hard to slide off the parchment paper onto my plate. Yeah, that was one of our recipes. We don't have a pizza crust recipe for cauliflower, but
we tried it one time. It was one of the few recipes that didn't turn out for you, right?
Yeah.
But we've had other people, like, Brienne, for example. She said she's tried it. Works out pretty well.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to try again. But I think it is quite a bit more work.
It is, yeah. But
I think it's worth it. just depending on like what your goals are. Sometimes we find a pizza, like a pita with cleaner ingredients, but it's definitely worth giving a shot. I think we actually went to. There's a place called Fresh Brothers here in.
It's a pizza joint.
It's a pizza joint, and they specialize. Like they're pretty good at being like locally friendly, locally sourced ingredients,
and they're organic, right?
They might be organic, and I think they're environmentally friendly. They're better. They're a pretty big company. I think they're growing pretty quick. Sandy, maybe you can help us out with that. I think they're growing pretty quickly, but they just started a new cauliflower crust, and it was one of the first nights we got here in the summertime, and we didn't have anywhere to cook. We didn't have anything to cook on, and we're like, let's go try that cauliflower pizza, and it was actually really good. And like you can go to those pizza joints. Like we don't eat pizza out very often, and we're usually disappointed when we are because we make our own pizzas and really enjoy them. So when we go out and have pizza, it's like we don't even consider it very often anymore. But they're advertising this cauliflower crust pizza, and we're like, well, why don't we give that a shot? Because they
saw it on a billboard.
Yeah, they usually make pretty good pizza, especially ordering out. And so we went over there, and it was delicious.
It was so good, and it was nice and thin. Because, that's what we like. We don't like big crusts, like doughy or anything like that. It was nice and thin and crispy, so that was nice too. And they just load on the veggies.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we just usually get veggie pizzas. And, it was very good.
Mm-hmm.
What else? What other comments do we have? Oh, Nikki said she made her own. That's awesome. And then Louise says she makes...
Oh, she just puts it in the blender. You are so smart.
Yeah, it's a great
idea.
idea.
That is a great idea. Man, I don't know why I didn't think of that.
You must cut off the thick part, like the stem.
Yeah, I think so, right, Louise? You would cut the little...
The stem.
The trees off. You just use the trees. The trunk.
Leaves?
No, like in the cauliflower, you wouldn't use the trunk, right, Louise? You just use the trees. And not the trunk.
What's a box grater? Sandy, what's a box grater?
Is it...
A grater in a box?
Like a cheese grater?
Cheese grater? Box grater?
Like a mandolin?
Oh, maybe a cheese grater that's shaped like a box?
Or maybe it's like a mandolin? I don't know.
Let us know what that is, Sandy. And then Kayla says, I see that on the screen now. Yeah, that's what we see. It could be in settings. Facebook is trying to do a better job of protecting privacy. Like if you try to go in someone's group, like we have Complete Truth Protein Facebook group, for example, if you want to watch a live video, you have to give permission to see the person.
Mm.
So, I don't know, maybe that's something to do with your settings?
Yeah.
What is that? Oh my. Meet Adam and Scott.
Oh, Fresh Brothers.
Our sauce is 100%. Our sauce is packed. So Sandy copy and pasted. Copy and paste.
Ah!
Probably their bio. Fresh Brothers.
Oh, okay.
What can we say? Not your average pizza joint. Our food is
community involvement. So they're very community based.
Sauce is packed with 100% fresh tomatoes. No, not from concentrate. Mozzarella is all natural.
No artificial ingredients, preservatives, or fillers, and no GMOs. Yeah. Gluten. They have a special section in their kitchen for gluten free. They have vegan options as well. They're soy free, dairy free, cheeses. Very cool. They have salad dressings. Yeah. Very cool.
The Chicago Post-Tribune voted it South Chicago's best pizza.
Very cool.
Chicago is known for their deep dish.
Oh, yeah.
Chi-Town brother Scott opened his first place. Oh, Chicago? In Chicago? That's cool. Thanks so much, Sandy. Sorry for that delay, guys. It is interesting. Let's see what Sandy says a box grater is. Old metal graters your grandmother would have used.
Oh, okay.
So a grater that's shaped in a box.
Like the one we have?
I think so.
Okay.
I think we got one of those, Sandy.
Should I go get it?
We got it on the street.
Yeah, we got off the street.
Okay. Go get it.
I think it has a plastic top, though, ours. I can't remember.
What did Louise say?
She uses the trunks, too.
I do use the chunk. Cut it up a bit. Oh, very nice. Less waste. Good for you. Louise.
I like that, Louise.
Dorothy always tries to get rid of our trunks.
I don't. We eat them with hummus usually.
Do we?
Well, Drew eats it with hummus. Like this box grater. Ours has a plastic top. I know my grandma's didn't have a plastic top. It was metal.
We got that one on the street.
We got this one on the street.
Brand new. Or never used. Or
never used, I would assume. Because...
Yes, Dorothy. She says yes, Dorothy. Yeah. I didn't know that was called a box grater.
Me neither.
Because it's shaped like a box or because it's square?
Well, I don't know.
Okay, let's move on with our conversation.
Okay, so we were talking about the benefits of cauliflower. Another benefit, or I suppose that's interesting, is that it's really high in fiber, which is cool because it's one of the macros, right? Fiber and antioxidants is its own category.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool because being so high in fiber, we need fiber.
Well, see what the issue is when we don't have fiber. So many times when we have at least in Alberta, it's pretty easy to compare. So we have Alberta has a big old steak and then potatoes. That's normal, natural for us to grow up like that. And I'm pretty sure in North America it's normal because many times you're like, what's for dinner? You say, oh, I'm having chicken. What's for dinner? I'm having steak. You don't think about the other things, especially so you have steak and potatoes, the easy one to make a comparison to or pick on.
Pick on.
And you miss out on the vegetables. So what happens is we run into digestion issues because you have meat, and red meat in particular is hard to digest. So you don't have any fiber to help break down that food. So if you have something like cauliflower, if you add mashed cauliflower, for example, because if you put a white potato in there, there's no fiber in it, processes very quickly. Then you combine the foods together. You have meat that doesn't have a chance to break down because the white potatoes is a quick sugar and it's processing very quickly. Then we run into digestive issues. We have gas, bloating, can't sleep. So if you replace that with something high in fiber like mashed cauliflower, now your body has the ability to more easily break down the red meat, process it, and burn it off as energy instead of storing it.
Mm-hmm. And mashed cauliflower, is so good. You don't even know it's not potatoes. Well, no. We don't.
Well, we don't have white potatoes very often, so it's pretty easy. Unless they're garden potatoes, we chop them up and roast them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's only for a couple times out of the year, but white potatoes from the garden are night and day from the grocery store. I don't even know why. What do they do from the ones from the grocery store to make that are so different from the ones from the garden?
I don't know.
They're it's like a different food.
It is. Tastes so different. They even cook so different.
They do, yeah.
Mm.
So that was another benefit we wanted to mention is the fiber, and that was the reason why you need to have high fibrous types of food with your meal. So don't skip out on the veggies if you're not into a plant-based diet. You need to have veggies to help break down that food. And if you don't have proper bowel movements is another one. We should have a bowel movement every day. Every morning is a great time because all of our guts and insides, our intestines and such, they're relaxed. So we should have. Can you pull it together?
Well, because I said they're loose.
I heard you. I was trying to ignore you. Of course, you had to say it again, so I didn't miss it.
They're loose. They're relaxed, so it's easy. Releasable.
So we should have, anyways. Dorothy. Dorothy would be the worst nutritionist, or if you go see her for serious problems, she would be like, "Did you say duty?" Someone would come with a serious problem.
No, I wouldn't. I'm very professional. Oh.
Anywho, so that's why you need to have that's why you need to have fiber in your diet, and that's why we're talking about cauliflower being high in fiber and very beneficial. So when you have a side, or if you have a side, if you're using it for rice, for example, or mashed potatoes, that's going to help your body digest the other foods that you're eating in that meal.
And that's another reason why with Complete Truth Protein, we have left the fiber in there is because it helps with digestion. And that's one of the top things we hear from people who are just first trying it out is, wow, like my digestion's improved so much. It's because we've left the fiber in there. With most of the time, conventional protein powders will strip all of that nutrients away, which makes it harder to digest and oftentimes causes digestion problems.
That's right. They do that because they want it to process quickly, but that's not what we want.
Yes.
Like our body shouldn't want that to process that quickly. And like Dorothy says, that's why you have a shake. Like that's why you have a conventional shake, and it has like all these crazy colorings and flavorings, and like that which aren't natural. And then you chug them, then you have like gas, bloating, indigestion, and you're like, what's the problem? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And like, well, you just put a bunch of chemicals in your body that process it like that, and there's no fiber to slow digestion or to help with digestion. Mm-hmm. So you're kind of like really not doing your body any justice by just putting those chemicals in your body.
Right.
What do we have here? Oops, I think I dragged the wrong one.
Whoop-a-daisies.
It's going to be Sandy's cut and paste.
A long one?
I'll do it.
Just leave it for a second. Whoa! That's crazy.
There you are, Sandy. Okay.
Louise, we already read hers.
We got
Suzanne's in here.
Morning, Suzanne.
Good morning, Suzanne.
Thanks for joining us. And Sandy said I'll be back later.
Catch the replay for the rest.
Sounds good.
Thanks for joining us, Sandy.
Thanks, Sandy. Have a great day. And, okay, so what's our next one?
Well, it kind of goes with fiber in the same category, sort of, antioxidants.
Yeah.
So, which is really neat that, you have fiber and antioxidants, plus all your vitamins and minerals in the cauliflower.
That's right. So we need to have antioxidants to fight free radicals. Mm-hmm. Now, when you look at free radicals, I'll just go through this briefly because
it gets kind of in depth sometimes.
I think I put Dorothy to sleep sometimes. It's interesting to me. Well, maybe not to everyone. I used to do presentations with a holistic nutritionist, and like those explanations sometimes were a bit snoozerish. So that's how I feel sometimes when Dorothy's like, "Are you done talking about that?
Don't use sciencey words on me.
Don't you science me." Well, okay. So free radicals are things that like make our
that are harmful for our bodies.
That are harmful. They make us age quicker, for example. So they are alcohol, tobacco, pollution, like outside pollution. Stress is a big one. Stress is something that's detrimental to our health in many different ways. So processed food, sugar, toxins, preservatives. So these free radicals kind of break us down, and they're detrimental in many different ways. So we need to fight those free radicals because they're always around. There's always processed food, always sugar. So
sugar's in everything.
We need to protect our bodies with antioxidants, and you do that through putting like bright colored vegetables into your diet and into your body. So it can help. These can help with brain health. They can help with eye health. They can help with digestion. They're always fighting free radicals. So we're constantly attacked by free radicals. We need some protection, and we get that from vegetables.
That was a very good explanation.
Thank you.
It was. But it was interesting to me that cauliflower was so high in antioxidants because you usually get your antioxidants from bright colors, like blueberries, for example. Right. You have lots of antioxidants in blueberries. But with the cauliflower, it's white. So it's interesting that it's high in antioxidants.
Yeah. Me. I would agree, especially because every time they talk about antioxidants, it's always bright. Like red peppers are high in antioxidants, and like you said, like a purple one, blueberries and eggplant I was thinking as well. Like a lot of different colorful. I think it's the color, whatever makes that pigment. I think it's called carotene, maybe. Whatever the color is that in those fruits and vegetables more particularly, is the antioxidant.
Interesting.
What else we got?
Well, the last couple that we had that we want to talk about. Well, I think I'm going to talk about number 5 before I talk about number 4. But number 5, I don't think will come as a big shock to you guys because of all of these benefits we were talking about: the vitamins, the minerals, antioxidants, fiber. And we talked earlier about it being great, like cauliflower is great to boost your prostate health. And it's really good, too, for a number of different I can't speak. A number of different other things like heart health, so great for protecting your heart and helping with heart health. And other things like diabetes, right, to help with sugar levels. So it has a lot of different benefits health-wise as well. Can you think of any other ones?
What were you talking about?
Where did you go?
I was pulling this recipe up. I didn't hear a word you said.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what you're struggling with.
Can somebody recap it for Drew? No, I was just saying that cauliflower, because of all of its benefits that we just talked about, so the vitamins, minerals,
Yes.
fiber, antioxidants, because it's like so well-rounded, it's good at helping with some things like we talked about prostate, so improving like prostate health, improving heart health, aiding in diabetes, right? Like things like that.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about when you went away. When you went on a little voyage.
Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. What are you saying? That is there anything else that I can add?
I don't think so. I don't know what he doesn't understand.
I don't. We went over all that. What are you saying? That we should go over it again?
I'm just saying different areas that it helps with.
All right.
Like it's good for your heart, for your skin.
Yes.
Skin health, heart health.
I concur.
Okay.
Let's jump on.
Maybe you should pay attention more.
Maybe you should copy and paste something.
No wonder you guys so much trouble at school.
Because teachers were like, blah, blah, blah.
And then he wouldn't listen, and then they'd be like, weren't you listening?
Talking about nothing. Okay, so check this out. This is our baked cauliflower wing recipe. We made this 2 nights ago.
Yes.
And it's amazing. So I just put the URL into the comments so you can check that out. But this is what they look like. And when we first made them, we didn't think that they were going to be that good. But we absolutely love them. Isn't that right, Dorothy?
Yes, we do. And the first time we made them, I made them by myself the first time. And I thought it was like quite a lot of work. But it actually isn't a lot of work once you break it down. You know, you have to make a batter and a sauce, but after you make it a couple of times, it gets easier. Like, it seems like a lot of steps at first. Chopping the cauliflower, and making the batter, and then making the sauce. But it really, once you get used to it, once you make it once or twice, it goes faster after.
Yeah, and then the last time we made it was pretty quick.
Yeah, it was.
We actually made it Tuesday after cooking with Dorothy.
Yes, we did.
And then we found some clean crackers, and we had some hummus. And then we had a nice little, maybe some veggies, throw some veggies in there.
Mm-hmm. And the cauliflower wings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes Dorothy and I will whip that up for a game. I haven't watched many games this year, but that's fun. I like to have the cauliflower night and put the game on.
Well, it's funny because wings usually gets associated with sports, right? Like, or wing night. Yeah, like, it was always Wednesday's wing night, right? And this is just a great way to have some an alternative option to that.
And actually, we had this big bag of wings, and we rarely have wings anymore. But we got some, and we baked them, and we found some with cleaner ingredients, and we just have that like every couple weeks with a game.
Mm-hmm.
And after the wings, I always felt horrible.
Mm.
Like I never felt like they digested well. I never felt like really good after eating them. So then we started making the cauliflower wings, and you don't. It's vegetables. Like you feel good after eating vegetables. I think everyone knows that. You feel like a plane. Like it's much different when you have highly processed food or like big slabs of meat, whatever it is. Your body just reacts much differently. So I felt great after having that. After a game, you don't have any guilt. You don't have any digestion issues, and you're not like drained of energy, like trying to like move after a game. So. That would be a great thing to try if that's something you guys are interested in.
Mm-hmm. They're so delicious, the cauliflower ones.
I didn't find the cauliflower salad for whatever reason.
I don't know if it's a blog post. We had it in our monthly membership recipes, but I don't think it's a blog post.
I asked you before we started. I said, do we have the
for mac and cheese.
We have a mac and cheese one?
We have a vegan mac and cheese recipe, yes.
Oh, is that a blog post?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So all you'd have to do with that one is replace the pasta, the noodles, for cauliflower. That's all you'd have to do with that one.
See if I can find the recipe for you guys.
Yeah.
I did want to mention, we're going to do a book of the week. Or not a book of the week, but yeah, I was going to share books, but I'm still working on the one I'm working on. I'm not sure what it's called, but I talked about it last week, so I thought, why not talk about Detoxify Yourself briefly?
Nice.
Because I wrote it. I say that we wrote it. Dorothy helped out quite a bit. She's in it. She always likes to mention, and she helped edit it like 10 times.
I did a lot of editing.
Yeah.
I can remember it was like, this one time I was editing, it was one of the final edits, and I had edited it so much that it was being held together with the clip.
Yeah, there's like this big giant clip.
There's this big giant clip on it, and I was on the airplane. I think I was going back east to see my family, and I spent like the whole 6 hours. It was a night flight, and I was just like, zzz, zzz, like editing and editing and editing, and then of course you have to go back, right, and put in all those edits. So
that was the hard editing, and sourcing was the hardest part. Painful.
Oh.
Yeah. But we've had Rosina help edit.
Yes.
I think we probably had a couple other people there.
Rosina actually designed the cover.
She did.
Mm-hmm.
So this book is a 30-day meal plan. It's gluten-free, dairy-free, GMO-free, and soy-free. And I talk about why we avoid those different foods. There's recipes, grocery shopping lists in here. And then I also talk about the toxins that we put on our body, toxins in our kitchen. It's a whole lifestyle detox. So that is available online. We have it up on Amazon, which I almost never mention. And I think it's like a Kindle book. It's all over. So you can let us know if you're interested. January is coming up. It'll come up quicker than we know.
Than we think.
So if you guys, I know some of you guys are amazing and are continuing to follow us, and you have the book. It's a great gift idea. It really is.
For Christmas.
Some people really need help getting started, and this is a great starter book.
Yeah, and since you mentioned Christmas, Drew, we actually have a little package where you get the Complete Truth Protein and the book together, which would make a really nice gift, actually. And the thing that I like most about Detoxify Yourself, or that we hear the most, is that it's such an easy read, because Drew writes like he talks. So it's not like big sciencey, definitions or anything like that. It's just like having a conversation with Drew. So it's a nice, easy to understand, easy to read book. And then the 30-day meal plan is right there for you. Has grocery shopping lists and everything you need. So it's kind of interesting, because a couple of times I've seen people at the store with the book,
That's
like
awesome.
with the grocery list, and I go home, I'm like, Drew, I saw someone at the store. Detoxify yourself. So yeah, it's really neat.
So I'm just pulling up this Christmas package, and I will drop it on. So if you guys are interested, we have that going on early, because we know that people are already looking for Christmas.
Yeah, and I think recently, Drew, you posted a link about like supporting local through Christmas, like buying handmade, buying locally sourced stuff, and it just means so much, to have these gifts that are handmade or locally sourced, and just I feel it's more heartfelt that way than going to a big blue store.
Yeah, of course we appreciate it. Those, like, we run a business, so those, like, we always try to support local, and when those support us, like, we couldn't be more grateful. We wouldn't have a business without that support.
Mm-hmm.
Suzanne actually did just buy one. Thank you so much, Suzanne.
She got one for her dad,
So
her 3-year-old dad, and he loved it.
That is amazing. That's why I wrote the book. And I think sometimes you get, like, as an author, like what does that mean? Everyone's an author, right?
I used to tell my little grade ones they're authors.
Yeah,
they're story writers.
And I think you get caught up in like the sales, you get caught up in the distribution and the marketing. But the reason I wrote the book is to help people, and that's all there is to it. Like, that's the bottom line. So to hear people, like someone writes in a testimonial, like that makes it all worthwhile. Like all the work and all the time put in. And we actually bought another 100 books recently,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're almost sold out. And that makes a difference to me. It's like, wow, people are actually reading, buying it, and it means so much. So we definitely appreciate that. Thank you, Suzanne. I did want to I pulled our vegan mac and cheese recipe, and I put that in the comments. So if you guys are interested, I just was dragging it on the screen here. So if you want to check that out, we have that vegan mac and cheese. One of the things that Dorothy was talking about with Kayla briefly.
Mm-hmm.
So you can check that one out. Dorothy makes that as well, and that is absolutely amazing. I don't even know. I think that one's better than like a box mac and cheese.
Yeah, it's so good. The vegan mac and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, a lot of times, because dairy cheese is hard to digest, hard to process in our bodies, and dairy is one of the number one like allergens. So if you are having digestion discomfort and things like that, that would be one of the first things I would tell you or have you look at is dairy consumption. But anyway, where was I going with that? The vegan mac and cheese one, you don't have any of those discomforts after you eat it because you don't have the dairy. So it's made with sweet potatoes, nutritionally, it's all foods that will actually fuel your body. So like Drew was talking about with the wings, after he ate the cauliflower wings, he doesn't have any discomfort and it digests while he feels good. And the same thing with the vegan mac and cheese. And especially if we used it with cauliflower instead of the noodles. Because if you are using noodles, we suggest finding a better brand of noodles, possibly gluten-free, because that will help you with digestion as well. Where are you going now? Bringing up a new site.
Oh, we got Jessica's in here. Good morning, Jessica.
Hey, Jessica.
Thanks for joining us. So this is the vegan mac and cheese recipe I just pulled on the screen. And then before I forget here, I looked up that Christmas package. So if you guys are interested, we have Detoxify Yourself, and then we have 2 bags of protein as well on discount.
Mm-hmm.
So if you'd like, it's basically a beginner package too, CTP. So, or Complete Truth Protein and Detoxify Yourself, because they go hand in hand, they go together.
And it's nice to be able to try both, because the gray label is for baking, and then the green label one is for smoothies. So it's nice to have a chance to try both of them. And even if you have tried Complete Truth Protein before and you're just looking to get more, it's a great package. Even if you said it is a good beginner package, but even if you're not a beginner, it's good. One of my friends just bought the package actually, and she says, I must have lent out my Detoxify Yourself book and not gotten it back. So I would like the Christmas package, please, so I can get another book.
Well, it was really cool. I had someone that I've never heard of before, and she said, never heard from before, and she said, I bought your book at Chapters one time, but you can't find it at Chapters anymore, by the way. You'd have to come straight to us. She says, I bought it a couple years ago, I bought it at Chapters, and she said, I can't find it. She's like, I love that book. Can you tell me where I can buy it? She just sent a Facebook message, so I was like, of course, I answered right away, super excited. And she said, so we mailed her a book, and she just bought it online, and she was so excited, and like that meant so much that like Detoxify Yourself. She remembered from years ago, and she's like, I need to get back living that way.
Mm-hmm.
She just talked about how great the information was, and then she invited us to come in and talk at it's not going to happen for a number of months, but to come in and do a corporate event as well, because she's like, everyone needs to hear this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that was very cool.
Yeah.
Jessica says, who doesn't love mac and cheese?
Right.
Exactly, Jessica. And then Kayla, what did Kayla have to say?
Kayla says, you two are amazing. Some people try their whole lives to accomplish what you two already have. The amount of lives you touch and help is amazing. Aw, thank you, Kayla.
It means so much.
That made our day.
What else do we have? Oh, do you have a couple other recipes you want to share?
Well, I think we've touched base throughout our conversation this morning. We talked about a lot of the recipes I was going to suggest. We talked about the cauliflower crust for pizza. We talked about the wings. We talked about cauliflower rice. one that we tried, Drew, that we didn't mention this morning is we actually tried cauliflower nachos. So remember that?
Yeah.
And Drew loved them. I was kind of like, not too sure of them. We had them a couple of times, right? We had them a couple of times. And it was a game day thing again because Drew loves to watch sports. And usually associated on game day is usually, wings and nachos and
pizza or like
unhealthy stuff.
Beer,
yeah. So what we did was, instead of the nacho chips, we sliced the cauliflower into little thin slices. Like, it wasn't chunks like wings. How can I say that? It was like more flat, right? So, and then we roasted them in the oven with olive oil and the Himalayan salt and pepper. Roasted them a bit. Then we took it out and put the normal nacho toppings on. So we put green onions and peppers and olives and
cheese.
And we put a little bit of cheese on top. So we choose a nice organic white cheese to put on top. We would suggest staying away from orange cheese because cheese is not
to be white.
Supposed to be orange. They dye it that way. So try your best to have white cheese. But the nacho wings, Drew really liked them. Did you put salsa on them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a couple. I think it's just more of a mindset thing, right? Because you're used to nachos being a certain way, and then changing it so drastically. I think it's just wrapping your head around it.
It's the same thing with the wings. Like people, like if you have someone that's like, I love my wings, and they're like, I'm not gonna try cauliflower wings, even though they can be very similar, and they're gonna make you feel a whole lot better.
Oh yeah,
it's just the mindset. It's especially like men are the worst to like. They're like the worst to try new things, and they're like, no, not gonna do that. And I don't know why there's so much like. I don't know what they think like their manlyhood is going to be affected if they try something different.
Well, I think that has like a lot to do with the meat. Like, maybe you can talk more about it, Drew. But I think a lot of times like the meat makes them feel manly, so they don't want to have a salad, for example, right? Yeah. Like they don't have a mustard salad, or they don't want to have a stir fry because maybe it's not manly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you could speak to that.
I mean, like the salad, I don't know. Maybe they're used to like if like a man has like a big old plate of pasta and then or steak and potato at the restaurant. I don't know. And then the woman was watching her weight, so she wants to have a salad. So maybe men associate like a big salad with women, feminine.
Or maybe it's because like, I don't know. I lost it. Maybe it's because, they don't feel like it'll, like, be fill them up. Like a little salad. Oh, that's not going to fill me up.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, we deal with it all the time because we work with mainly women. And the men never want to try things or like, help out or I don't know what the deal is. So I was never like that. I was always wanted to try something different and see how my body reacted and see basically how I could perform better on the field. That's when I started this journey. So I was always interested in trying something new because if I didn't try it, how would I know if it worked? So,
and you have had some of your own struggles. Maybe I don't know if I should call it struggles, but like going out, for example, with a group of guys to the steakhouse and getting the salad.
Oh yeah.
Like so it's not easy, but over time it gets better because then people just expect that behavior out of you, right?
Yeah, it was like the guys I grew up with they work downtown Calgary, like they all work in the oil field basically. In fact, which is the opposite of what we do. But I've known them my whole life, so that's not going to change. Like they have their own choices, their own decisions, and they would used to like give me a hard time about having a salad or not having a beer or whatever it is. And then they would have their own. They'd have steak sandwich or a big old piece of steak, and that's normal for them. And they'd always give me a hard time. And it was like, first it was like the whole table was always bugging me. And whatever, I'm okay with that. That's what we do.
They're like brothers. They're like a big group of brothers because they've known each other so long.
And that kind of stuff is just normal, so it's not a big deal. And then it was like less and less people were bugging me.
Yeah.
And then it was like, no, and now it's like, and then it went to no one was bugging me about it. And now they're like, maybe I should have had that. Or what are you ordering today? Maybe I'll have what you're having. So it's kind of funny how that's kind of all evolved.
Yeah, one of your friends saw your stir fry go by, and then, wasn't it?
He was like mad. He's like, I always get this. And it was he got like a steak sandwich. Like, I always get this steak sandwich. I don't even enjoy it. He's like, should have got what you got.
You just order for me next time. You should just order for me.
Let's pull off some comments on here.
Sure.
Want to read Jessica's?
Jessica says, you guys are great at helping me procrastinate. Both my kiddos are still sleeping, and it's a perfect time to get things done. But it's so much better watching you guys and taking a break. You know what? Like, you do need those breaks, though. You know, and I hear it. I hear it a lot from moms, right? Like, the kids are sleeping, and you got to get all of these things done. But they're still going to be there later. So it is important to take that time for you as well.
And thanks for joining us on your break, Jessica.
Yes.
We enjoy helping you procrastinate.
Yes.
And then Jessica had another comment on here. Cauliflower mash, are great.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And that's one of our, I don't know if we even talked about it.
Well, I did have mashed potatoes on here as a alternative for you guys. But it's so simple, the mashed potatoes. You just, Jessica, you can let me know how you do them. But we overcook ours, so we put it in the steamer. And we let them go, let them cook
mushy.
to the really mushy.
And then I get a potato masher, because that's what it's for.
And Drew gets out the potato
and I mash it.
He mashes them up. And what do we add to ours? We like to add Himalayan salt, pepper. Do we add coconut oil? I think we add some coconut oil.
Milk.
Coconut milk. Yeah. Coconut milk to them. And it's just, they're so yummy. Nutritionally, I think we...
Sometimes?
Yeah.
And it's a nice little side. You can't tell the difference between that and mashed potatoes.
No.
I was saying mashed potatoes because Dorothy always gives me a hard time about how when we make eggs, Dorothy chops them with scissors because she likes chunks.
They're chunky.
And I grab the potato masher and I mash them up.
And he makes it like moosh. I want my eggs to be moosh. I want my eggs to be chunky.
Nikki says I want to try roasted cauliflower.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, I really like the cauliflower chips. Nikki, you just give it a try. And like we talked about, I think it's a mindset.
Mindset, definitely.
But you can have them just the same. Like they'll have the same purpose. And then the roasted cauliflower, it's one of our favorites actually. When we're it's barbecue season, and we do it in the winter as well. But I like to put them on the barbecue. But if you're not barbecuing, you can just throw them in the oven.
You use that little tray on the barbecue, right?
Yeah.
Like a wire basket, kind of, right?
Yeah. In
case you don't have one, it's like a wire basket that you put on the barbecue and for veggies. Or
otherwise, I just oven safe pan.
Yeah.
Like a glass one, and you throw it in the oven.
Mm-hmm.
That works just as well.
Yeah.
Give that a shot, Nikki. Let us try, or let us know. And if you try it, tag us so we can see. Or Nikki's in our monthly membership group as well. We've got a number of you guys in here. And that are in our membership group, so you can post it in the membership group too. Woo! In the membership group as well, Nikki. I was reading a comment and talking. Doesn't work.
Jessica says I roast mine. Overcook and mash. Roasting keeps more flavor in. Oh yeah, it would, because you know what? It probably makes them less watery too if you roast them. Because you know how sometimes our mashed potatoes, there's more moisture in them.
Yeah. But I was thinking you'd have to take them off. You'd have to watch them pretty close, Jessica. Is that right? Because when I roast them till they're crispy.
Right.
So you have to get them to a cook point, and then they're like mushy. And then so they're cooked, but they're like soft. And then I like the next stage where they're crunchy. Mm-hmm. So you'd have to take them out when they're soft.
Yeah, so you wouldn't be able to do it because you don't wash things so nicely.
I like to cook things while I'm doing something else.
Drives me nuts. Because I'll be like, oh, Drew, could you, do this? Make the mashed potatoes. Let's do that. And then he's like, yeah, I can do that. And then so he goes and he starts it and then goes into the computer doing something else. And then he goes back to the mashed potatoes and I'm like, would you just cook the potatoes?
Seems so
or
more.
cauliflower or whatever.
Seems it's more efficient.
Like multitasking, and I'm like, stop that now. Because I'm very much like doing one thing at a time, not a multitasker.
Okay. Jessica says I make buffalo sauce too, and shake over cauliflower and roast.
Oh, that sounds good.
Can you tell us what you use for your buffalo sauce, Jessica? I'd like to know that.
You want some buffalo sauce now?
All this cauliflower talk.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking as we were talking about the mashed potatoes, Dawn in our monthly membership actually inspired us this summer to make cauliflower, what is that called? Potato salad. Remember?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So cauliflower potato salad. It was so good.
It's fantastic.
So good. And you don't even know that it was cauliflower instead of potatoes.
Right.
So that's another one you could do. It's cauliflower potato salad. Oh my gosh, it was good.
Want to read that?
You could do it your way, Dorothy, and then fry them to get the moisture out. Yeah, you could.
You steam them and then fry them?
Yeah, and get all that water out.
Thanks for the suggestion, Suzanne.
Yes, thank you.
I do want to mention our Day in the Life show. I'll just pull up our screen here.
Okay.
So I just want to show you our Day in the Life. This is what our YouTube channel looks like. So youtube.com/trueformlife. This is our latest one. Morning routines. Morning routines for success. So I'll grab that link.
How come there's no little picture?
I paused it.
Oh. Play it so we can see a picture. You're like, no.
I could play it.
Play some of it. No?
Just wait, that thing's in the way.
Oh. It's okay if it's too difficult.
Oh, there it is.
There. So in this episode we talk about our morning routine, which is really important to us. And we go through our whole routine, how we start our day with kombucha, and we go through our stretching, our meditation practice, and working out, breakfast. We go through the whole thing with you guys. So if you haven't had a chance to catch it out, green smoothie. So I make a green smoothie for you guys, and we go through the whole thing together. So there's our little meditation corner. Talk about essential oils, breakfast, reading, go through it all. So if you are interested in incorporating some of these things into your morning routine or interested in to know more details about ours, definitely check that out.
Yeah, that's our latest D&D show. So you know what's interesting is the most successful people in the world have a morning routine. So it could be top CEOs or whatever type of business owners. They have hundreds of employees. And you know what was interesting? The owner of the Huffington, what do you say that? Huffington Post.
Huffington Post.
Is that what it is? Adriana Huffington, I think. And she's talks about being a mother and being a business owner and a wife, and she has time. And I think that's one of the most successful websites ever. And someone for her, for example, has time for a morning routine. And then I think about all the people that don't have morning routines, and they just kind of rush around their day, and they're like, oh, I don't have time for morning routines. Ooh.
I think we're still talking. Just a sec. Pause it.
I'm getting there. That's why I didn't start it, just so you know. But anyways, that's why we have a morning routine, because we want to be successful in life. And it sets up our entire day for success. So if you don't have a morning routine, check out our show and try some of the things that we do, because it's really important to get a morning routine going. So I'm going to put that in the comments, so you can click on that if you like.
And even if you don't have time to do everything, just pick one thing. Maybe it's breathing exercises, maybe it's stretching, or maybe it's a green smoothie. But just try and pick one thing to start out with. And once you get comfortable with doing that one thing ritually every morning, then you can add something else on if you feel comfortable. Because it does take some time. And we didn't really start out with all of those things. We slowly added to our morning routine.
Yeah, it was a progression with everything. That's why we teach sustainable lifestyle changes, like one step after another, because that's that's the only way it's sustainable, and that's how we live. So take it one step at a time.
Yeah.
All right, we'll bring out some comments on here.
Kayla says, we're down here. Kayla says, have a great day, everyone. Off to Leo's first dentist appointment. Aw.
That's cute. All right, thanks, Kayla. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, hope the dentist appointment goes well.
Have a great day. We're going to wrap things up here, everyone else that's watching with us here.
What does that taste like? Now I don't know what we were talking about.
Sorry, Suzanne. Can you let us know what you're talking about? We'll try to catch that comment right away. Want to read Jessica's here?
Jessica says, we bought these buffalo spice bags in Italy at the morning market. All you do is add in oil and blend. I've added canned tomatoes to it to give it a bit of color. I will try to see what spices are in it. No labels or anything, as it was a fresh, dry spice lady who makes up the bags every morning before the market starts. Well, that's pretty cool.
That's awesome. I actually when I went to Italy, I brought spices back for my family.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
I completely forgot about that. That's awesome, Jessica. And then what else do we have here? We want to catch all your comments here. Is that Jessica again?
Yep. Everyone asks me how I have so much time. We garden, I can, I jam, I make freezer meals, and I have an evening routine for myself. I get called super mom, but I am not. I just make time because it's important for me and my family.
That's
so
amazing.
True. And that's what it's all about, right? It's just making the time. So often, we put ourselves last on the list, but Drew and I are always telling people that if you put yourself first, it's not selfish, because when you put yourself first and take care of those needs first, then you have so much more to offer for your family. And in Jessica's case here, you have time to provide all of those things for your family because you make the time.
I would get crazy and say it's selfish to put yourself last.
Oh.
Because then you have nothing left. Like
you
if
have nothing to give.
Keep pushing yourself last, you're tired, you're stressed out, you have nothing. Like you have no energy, and then you try to give whatever you have to other people, like your kids or your spouse or your work, and there's nothing there to give. Mm-hmm. So I think that's more selfish than being selfish and putting yourself first. Mm-hmm. What does that say? This is not how to kaboka. I'm not sure how to spell.
Kombucha?
Is it kombucha?
Kombucha? How does it taste?
We're talking about kombucha? I don't think we were talking about
We were talking about it in our morning routine.
Oh.
That's the clip. Remember that you started with and you pulled out the SCOBY?
Oh, yeah, kombucha. You can flavor it with whatever you want, Suzanne. So we have a whole workshop. We have, I'll put it in the link here. But we show you exactly how to make it. So we have a ginger bug one where it tastes like ginger. Yeah, that's it, she said. So you have a ginger bug one that tastes like ginger. That's an easy one. Or we have one with the SCOBY. There's a bit more to it, but it's super easy. It doesn't take a whole lot of time. And it tastes with whatever you flavor it with. So depending on what tea you're using or depending on what you're flavoring it with after.
Mm-hmm. I think some people are surprised at how the SCOBY looks when you pull it out.
Yeah.
I didn't know the SCOBY looked like that.
Yeah, it looks good. Nikki says, doodles.
Have a great day.
See you,
Nikki. Too, Nikki. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for joining us.
And I think Louise had to go too. I'm off to Body Fit class. Have a great day, everyone.
Awesome, Louise. Have a great workout. We will catch you in our membership group. And that's it. All right, guys. I think it's a great time to wrap things up.
Yeah, and let you guys get on with your day. Thanks so much. We so much appreciate you giving us your time and hanging out with you guys. Is such a great way to connect and communicate and get to know you guys better.
That's right. Just want to mention CTP real quick. So Complete Truth Protein. If you're looking for something to help increase your energy, to help
digestion,
help improve your digestion, CTP will definitely help. We designed Complete Truth Protein ourselves. It's plant-based. It's raw, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, and soy-free. We deliver that locally, and then we also ship to wherever you're at. So that's something you're interested in. I'll drop the link in the comments below. If you guys, there's a lot of you guys that are regular customers. So if you're interested, we can definitely, or if you need more, we can definitely refill your order.
Refill it.
Mm-hmm. Other than that, we talked about detoxify yourself. Christmas is coming up, so it's a great time to help those loved ones in your life and get back on track.
I can't think of a greater gift than the gift of health. It's true, though. I was just thinking that as you were saying, it makes a good Christmas gift, but it's like the gift that keeps on giving.
Well, it makes sense for us. Other people are like, I don't want to give. Yeah, but I mean, when we all deal with the time when our family or friends have health issues, and unfortunately as we get older, we have that mindset of like, oh, I'm getting older, my health should decline, and we don't feel it should. I think that the more knowledge and the more prep and the more time that we make for ourselves, the healthier we can become. So if you have loved ones in your life, why not help them get healthier? I think that would mean a lot to them.
Yeah, for sure.
We just had Suzanne. We're gonna wrap things up here, guys.
Suzanne said, thanks, I never tried it before. Bye, have a fun day. You too, Suzanne.
Thanks, Suzanne. I like how you said it, have a fun day.
Yeah, I like that.
We try to have fun days every day.
Every day.
All right, guys, I think that's all.
Yeah, I think that's it. So thanks for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next show. And I know a lot of you tune into Cooking with Dorothy as well. Just a reminder that this Tuesday coming up, there won't be a Cooking with Dorothy show because we'll be traveling. So.
And then check out, we're going to be talking about Dorothy's half marathon training. All the details tomorrow morning.
That's our new day in the life of D&D. It's all about training for a half marathon. So you can catch that tomorrow morning
on our YouTube channel. On our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
YouTube.com/trueformlife. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful day and a better weekend.
Happy Friday. Bye.